Okay, Barry, I'm very sorry that it took me so long time to send this video for you, but I had a lot to see. I want to show you my screening protocol for the soccer players I'm going to use in Lørenskog Soccer Club. I also think this is the protocol I'm going to use for testing of the strange in the system, how to change biomechanically dysfunction in the young players. So this testing I'm going to show you, it's a testing where I can use measurement and get concretely data, which is very important when you work with soccer clubs, that we not just look at how the movement is, but we actually get data that we can show for the club. So the first test I'm going to do is just, I'm always using this measurement here, and then I have my matrix. Just think I have my matrix here. Then I ask the player to do a left leg balance, and then I ask the player to do a right foot 45 anterior reads and see how far they can go. And what I'm looking for when they are lifting their heel, and then I'm just trying to measure the centimeters they get. What I'm looking at here, I'm looking at how much dorsiflexion can they get, but of course I'm looking if they are able to collapse and go in an eversion of the foot and get internal rotation of the tibia. Next thing I'm doing is just I do a left leg balance, and then I do a left foot 45 anterior reads also here. So I put it here, and then I go this way. So what I'm looking at here, I'm looking if they're able to do inversion and how much dorsiflexion they can get, and about external rotation. Besides that, I can see how much internal rotation they can get of the left hip. So this is what I'm looking at in this exercise, of this testing. The next one I have chosen is a left foot balance, right foot 45 posture reads. So this is looking more like a soccer kick. So here we can look more about how is the stand foot, how they're balancing on the stand foot, and how far can they reach before they have to put the foot down. So what I'm looking at here is also to see how much internal rotation are they able to get in the hip, and how good are they to load. So what I'm seeing here, I have a restriction on this because I don't want to get anything through the thoracic spine. So I asked them to stay out with the arms. So we are just looking at the hips and the feet. So this is more hip dominant measurement exercise. Here we can also think about doing repetition forward like this. See how many repetitions they are able to do like in 1 minute, and how stable they are on the foot when they are loading for kicking. Then I have just some breakdown exercises where I do a posture arm reads in RX6. I decide a vertical and a horizontal distance just to standardize this. So just think that we have like 60 degrees vertical and 60 degrees horizontal. Then I put them in that position. They cannot do any flexion of the knee. They have to be just, you can say, normal flex in the knee, and then they just see how far they can go on the right to see how much flexion do they get at the back butt. And then I do an LXX afterwards. After that, I do one more time, I do a posture reach. They just put arms up like this as they want, and they go in a LXX here. And again, I just standardize this vertical distance and the horizontal distance. And I standardize from the heel to the wall, and then from the ground and then up. And then they just see how far they can reach. Okay, here it was okay, they go back again, and here they can, and then I measure from the heel and then to the mark of the horizontal distance. This is the sagittal plan. Then I have The next one, I put them in RWX here to see how much motion they can get through the adductors. So they just stand here very relaxed, and then they just go down. So the first thing I do, I measure from the ground up to the fingers here. I just still stand them and I put them in this position and just see how much motion can go through the hip. It's not allowed to lift the shoulders. The shoulders should be in totally relaxed all the time, so the motion is only going through the hip. Here we can also standardize the distance between the legs. Afterwards I see about how much adduction and abduction they can get, so I put them in narrow position. And here also we can standardize the position of the legs, and I see how much motion they can get through the abductors, and then I put it on the other side, and you can see big difference here. Not very good left abductors. Then I have the next one. It's I look at the in sync, out of sync. So I can just show you here. We put them in an RXX position, RXI, sorry, and then I look at here and I see. This is very important. It's very important. They can look. They have to look forward. They cannot turn the head or to the left or to the right. And then they just do like this. See how far they can go. This is an out of sync, and then they just do in sync. So it's not allowed to use more, like they're not allowed to bend their arms. So they have to be straight in the elbows all the time and see how far they can go. When they bend, it's not good. And then I do the other side after. And then you can see here, it's better when I have an LXI position. So this is exercises I decided to use. I think they're very easy to do. Of course, we could do more complex exercises, like putting the players in let's say left leg balance, and then they could do like a right foot 45 degrees supposed to reach or to the left, and then they could see how much out of sync, in sync movement they could get of the arm here, and then how far they can go loading, and then doing the other thing. But the problem is with these players, then they will start like this and stand like this, and it will take too much time to explain them that you cannot do like this, and many of the players don't have any like patience to go through all that explanation. So we have to keep it simple, but we have to get some really specific measurements that we can use in our further work. Because if we have very complicated players, then we just put them out the group. We take them out of the group, and then we test them more carefully. Thank you, Barry. I hope it was okay. Just give me some comments.